So those are the noises you don't like. Banging and clanging. We have a Munchkin high efficiency natural gas boiler. We've been making some noise, a lot of banging and rattling in the pipes, and so we had some repair work to do to it. The noise was primarily coming from our pop-off valve down here. So pressure was increasing over the 30 psi threshold for this system, and it was letting that water go down our drain back here. You can see that's pretty nasty and corroded. So it had been pumping underneath the house into the crawl space because it was overpressurizing the system. The question is, why was it overpressurizing the system? And so we dug into it a little bit and found that we had a bad expansion tank. It was actually packed full of rust. I'll drop an image in here so you can see what it looked like. And then our reducing valve, or the pressure regulator, was also packed full of rust and was stuck open, allowing system pressure to bleed through into that system, overpressurizing it. And you can see we got a new air vent up here. The scoop is going to need to be changed too. This whole system's getting swapped out this spring. Just trying to get the customer through the winter here. So, but we got all these parts changed out. We got the plumbing work done. Went to fire it back up, and we just need to make sure the system is bled properly. So if your boiler's making a bunch of noise, if it's banging around and clanging, that typically means that you've got air in there somewhere. The boiler's trying to heat the water, but there's gaps. It's not full water in the system in the water jacket or the heat exchanger, and it's boiling some of that water, causing it to pressurize and drop off. In our situation, our expansion tank was packed full of rust, so we swapped it out, and that was the primary driver for the noise from the overpressurization, because it didn't have anywhere to push that extra pressure to. So, but we got it all changed out, ready to go, and now we're just going to put the system back in operation. So we have some valves shut off here. We've got our main here that feeds back into the boiler. And then we have all of our supply shutoffs off. And this is where I like to start before I add in the water. So again, reducing valves new, our air bleeders new, and we're just going to turn this on here and get some pressure back in the system. So right now it's letting, about 15 psi of pressure flow through into our boiler system here. Got some air coming out of our bleeder. Oh, now it's full of water. We've got the boiler off right now. Make sure the pop-off's where it belongs. And we'll go ahead and turn it on. Now I like to start with the main circuit. So we're going to turn this water heater circuit on. This is going to be our highest flow circuit to this system. It's the shortest run. It's going to be easy to get all the air out of it. So to get the boiler running and get things cruising along, we want to make sure that that high flow circuit is doing what it's supposed to. So while we're waiting for the water heater to make a demand for heat, this is a zone valve system. So we have one main circulating pump. It's that guy right there. So anytime any of these zones call for heat, one of these circuits will open and will send a call to the boiler to turn on. I prefer zone pump systems personally. So this spring we're going to change that out and put zone pumps in here instead of zone valves. Then we would have one main circulator for primary loop, and then the zone pumps would pull off of that primary loop to start feeding those heating circuits. So the boiler just kicked on. Our heating circuit for the water heater is calling for heat. Got our pre-purge cycle going on, just fired. Looking at our pressures, running about 16 psi. So we got flow going through our water heater now after a little bit of racket. So we'll make sure our air bleeder is open so any pockets of air that make their way up there will come on out. So the hardest thing about a boiler system is getting the air out of the lines. Usually what I try to do is I start again with the highest demand circuit, which is our water heater line here, or our indirect tank circuit. So I've got good flow going through there, and then I'll begin introducing each of the other valves to start getting that water pushed through there. So I want to make sure, it's got good flow, that there's no air in it, and then I just want to go ahead and start cracking these just a little bit at a time and getting that flow going through there. So this one is actually calling for heat at the moment. So that means that when that's over to the left there, that means that valve is open. If it's got some tension to it, like that one doesn't move, it's closed right now, so there's no call for heat on that zone. But we'll just open this up gradually and get some flow going to that circuit. Usually I'll kick it a little bit, let it flow for a minute, open it up a little bit more. And if it's been a while since your boiler's been off, you'll notice the temperature. So that's your temperature going out, your supply temperature. You'll notice it starting to decrease as you add colder water to that system. So we were up to about 130 there, and it's trickled back down as I've opened that one zone up. So it's a bigger contrast whenever the boiler has been fired up and running and you open up a zone that's been closed for a while. So, but like I said, this is the easiest way I've found to bleed a system. The other way is a little more labor intensive, and sometimes you do have to go to all the radiators and go ahead and bleed them all individually. But you can push a lot of water through a system. So in this situation here, we would shut off this valve, let the system build up a little bit of pressure, open it, and open and close the zone we're trying to purge at the same time to try and get a rush of water to push on through those pipes to carry that air with it back to our bleeder here. It can be very labor intensive though. Hope this helps you out. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. Give us a subscribe and a like, and we'll get you some more videos coming. Thanks, everybody.